it's me. It's Nancy today. I'm just driving along, and you are watching from above. Can't see my double chin, can ya? So I'm going to Ottawa. I'm going to go retrieve my laptop because my laptop has been in the Fix-It store. It's such a cheap laptop. I hope that getting it fixed does not cost more than the laptop is worth. I asked them to please, well, I asked Willem to ask them to fix why it's overheating. So they decided that for $50 they would blow it out, which sounds like a lovely idea. And so then they called and said it was done, it's all blown out. And so I said, oh great, does it stay on now? And they said, what? It's not written on here that we needed to do diagnostics. So I said, well, yes, could you please plug it in and see if it stays on? And so they did, and so now I have to go pick it up. And $50 is okay, but I wonder if they charged me $100 for diagnostics. Anyway, they say it works. So perhaps I should have blown air into it myself. So many little screws on the back of these laptops, though. When you open them up, you open up a whole kettle of worms. Not that the computer is filled with worms, though that is better than being filled with a snake. That has happened before, you know. I know, it sounds terrible. So I've been thinking about making a montage of my videos. I've never had any success doing this before. I used to have Windows Movie Maker until it got lost from my computer, or it stopped working on my computer, and then it did, and then I ended up having to buy another computer for other reasons, and then it didn't work either on that one, or it worked for a while, but then it stopped working. And so then what was I saying? Yeah, so then when I got this new computer, which is now broken, it had Windows Movie Maker on it. And I have lots of videos in my computer. And so instead of having to download them, maybe I'll just start with one video and work on watching one video and seeing if there's anything funny in it and snipping that bit. Probably just shorten them all so they only contain the funny bit, which is usually the hello, or you can do this at home, or results may differ. It seems to be those very ending comments, the ending remark seems to be the funny thing. Look, I'm behind a truck and it's called Stargate on the flappers, the wheel flaps that keep the mud from my car. It's really turning yellow outside. There's quite a lot of trees turning. You can't see any of that from this angle. And I'm not going to move you because I'm driving. And I'm hands-free. I drove my bicycle hands-free once. You don't want to know how that went. I also drove it feet-free. I was hands-free and feet-free driving of my bicycle. And a dog ran out in front of me. I was going down a very steep part of the hill. And I hit the dog. And I went down face first onto the ground. And my face was all swollen up. I had this big spot. I think it's this, maybe it's this side. Yeah, I think it's this side. This big cut. It took forever to heal. You know, in the eyes of whatever I was, 10, 11, 12. Anyway, so hands-free and me really have never been a thing since then. I don't like driving hands-free. I like to keep a hand on the wheel. at all times. You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Subway stores that have drive-through. There's one I've seen that has a drive-through. I think drive-through Subway would be the best. But I think I should give up bread. I think that bread is really messing with my size. I think so. I was thinking going to Connecticut. What do you think? Just gonna drop over there and pick up some books that I have mailed to Mary. But, you know, then when I start thinking about actually going there, then I think, well, I should stop and visit Jen. And I should... I have a friend in Albany. Should stop and see her. And, hey, when is the Rhinebeck Fair? I should go to the Rhinebeck Fair. I wonder if it was last weekend. Maybe it's next weekend. So maybe I should go to the Rhinebeck Fair and see Mary. Pick up my books. Go see Betty in Connecticut. I'm not sure what else. But I don't really feel like it. I kind of feel like digging in the yard, but it was cold today. It's only 50. 10 degrees. Is that 50 or 55? Let me see if it works. 10 and 10 is 20 plus 32 is 52. Okay, so it's 52. I've been watching Bones. Lots and lots of Bones episodes. I was in the 3rd season, I think, but then I went to watch it at Elidas today on Netflix. I just happened to start on the 1st season, so I was watching the 1st season today, and my goodness, Bones and Booth sure didn't get along very well. It's interesting to see the beginnings of all these people's relationships. I guess what they mainly did there was identifying the bones from the First World War, identifying victims, World War I. That was why she had been hired at the Jeffersonian in Washington. So I guess that's why her team was hired too. But in the later seasons that I watch, they seem to be working on murder investigations, discovering victims, and how the murder was committed every day. All they do is that. Maybe there'll be a time when you see them change over from doing the other. Instead of doing the murder stuff, I guess it'll be spare time stuff now to do the war bones. It's very interesting. It would be good if technology were this good and they could actually do all these things. All this scientific stuff. Boy, is it ever windy. Whoa. Well, there you go. I guess you wanted to see around, didn't you? Well, you're not having much of a view, are you? I could let you see out the window. So now. Okay. That's all because we have to go back to being hands-free here. There. So don't go falling off anymore. You were saved by the wire. But I haven't really got anything to say, and it's kind of one of those blah days. Clouds of gray are in the sky, flocks of birds are passing by, trees now dressed in faded brown, send their leaves all rustling down. You know, that kind of a day. First day of autumn, and it sure looks like autumn. Okay, check you later.